Only small one, Ash. Actually looks like a spurdog, mate.
Based on current scandalously low catch rates, it's hard to imagine that 30 years ago the spurdog was the most prolific small shark in European waters. Then the longliners moved in. Having found a lucrative market for spurdog meat, the commercials then set about systematically trying to remove every last one of them from the sea. Had it not been for diminishing returns, coupled to proactive campaigning by anglers, they may well have succeeded. Only the springboard of a few isolated pockets here and there actually saved the species from extinction. Survey work now being carried out by conservation groups has shown that the early signs of any meaningful comeback are at best patchy and slow, with one of the strongest showings coming along Scotland's west coast.
Yes, clear. Yeah.
Over much of the rest of Britain, unfortunately, spurdogs are still a rare or occasional encounter, with the exception of this place, Holyhead, where anglers are now able to plan them into the seasonal calendar once again.
Today we're coming out to an area approximately 8.5 miles southwest of South Stack Lighthouse on Anglesey. It's an area marked on the charts as Holyhead Deeps, which has depths between 100 and 350, 400 foot of water. We'll be fishing an area of approximately 180 foot. It's got quite a strong tidal pull here, so we can realistically only fish on ebb tides. So anything 27 foot or below, and we can get away with approximately 2.5 to 3.5 hours fishing over the slack water period. Target species today are spurdog, huss and tope. Now you also get a few whiting now and then and a few dogfish down there, but it's the big sharks that we're after today. So our hook baits, we're looking at pollock, coley, as freshly caught earlier this morning, but also frozen squid and frozen mackerel. We do tend to use a lot of fresh mackerel, but we're still middle of May, where we are picking up the odd few, but really to go and target them there's not so many about. The baits that we're using need to be fished whole or half, as soon as you start taking the fillet off or just little sections, the dogfish move on them straight away. We'll be just fishing basic rigs, 100 to 150 pound mono on between 4.0 and 8.0 hooks, just trying to cover the range of the sharks that we're targeting. You're still getting the odd knock from a dogfish, but by the time you finally get onto your big bait, sorry, just have to go and net this fish.
Holyhead Deep was previously a noted producer of big spurdog catches, so it came as no surprise when the revival did finally get underway that once again this should be a prime spot to go looking for them. And so it's proved, with the last 4 Welsh spurdog records coming aboard my way, including the current record holder caught by guest standing skipper Paul Whittle, all of which, along with the tope and smoothhound records, were returned to the water unharmed.
Was that my secret bait one? Superb squid.
Got it right down.
Some of the time, don't you? You've not seen it.
No. Right. Got a little secret bait.
I think they're brilliant. There we go. And then we'll strike and see if he feels it.
I think if you had heavy braid on all the way through to the hook, the actual rig,
yeah, maybe.
A strike would.
Some of the shoals in years gone by were as much as several miles across, and it was possible back then to hold them up 3 at a time if you put 3 baits down. Not exactly sporting, but a measure at least of just how prolific these fish were once in Holyhead Deep. And to keep fish quality here high, plus give the growing spurdog population a little added boost, we should all do our bit for conservation through careful handling.
We'll shove it in there, that's a good size that.
Unfortunately, getting population numbers back to even a shadow of the former past is going to take these fish a very long time. Because not only do spurdogs produce very small numbers of live pups, but with a pregnancy lasting a full 22 months, they also have the longest gestation period of any animal on the planet.
15.5.
Wow, that's a cracker.
Better one, Steve. You wanted your toe. Just keep that drag nice and light.
Just took it right back to the bottom again.
Don't run away with the idea that Holyhead Deep is a one-trick pony. In fact, it's anything but.
The tope out here can run up to £40–45. There tends to be a lot of pack fish early in the season, going between the £10 and £20 mark, and then as the seasons progress, July, August, September, right into the middle of October, you're looking at tope averaging £40–45 with the best fish into the late 60s. Huss doesn't do that.
Back down again.
What I'm gonna
He's on top, Gethin.
is here to get.
Very much straight down.
You got him. This particular mark is very productive for bull huss. On a standard 2.5–3 hour anchor that we have here, then I would expect most people to catch in the region of half a dozen, if not more, huss, and all of them being between £10 and £14. We have had a few huss on this particular mark go up to £17–18, but on average, as I say, they're £12 to £14 in weight.
Alright.
Bull huss, it has to be said, are a very important fish on today's charter angling scene. Not only do they offer the best chance many boat anglers regularly have of catching a double-figure fish, they can also be quite a handful, both outside and inside the boat.
No, I can't get the turn on the hook, you know. Yeah, a lot safer for it. Yeah.
They're also extremely abundant and obliging, which is more than can be said for a great many other fish species these days.
That fought well for you, didn't it?
There's a big one, isn't it?
Looking like a bit of bully. You're having a good day, I can afford to do things like that. I'll give you a hand now, Tom. Oh, Tabs. Come in next trip. That's small, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it's not big.
I'm sorry, your fish is talking about your arena.
I just like this little rod though.
So
There it is.
Big huss.
It's a huss.
Only tried for them once, had one hook on. Bringing it in. Get that way.
Just do your stuff with it, go on. Carry on.
Make it nice and quick.
As Geth said earlier, at best you're going to get 3 to 3.5 hours out there fishing over the deep, which even when you add in 1.5 hours of sailing time, still leaves plenty of opportunity to fish for other things. Many my way anglers routinely bring along small hooks and a lighter outfit, plus a box of live ragworms. There are loads of good ballon wrasse in and around the rock marks, plus of course pollock and coalfish to help supplement the frozen bait supply for fishing for the spurdogs out deep. What these fish also make is an excellent fallback potential for those days when the weather forecasters don't get the good weather predictions bang on right. And while the smaller fish might not be the main targets for a trip to Holyhead Deep, it would be a shame to miss out on these added bonus fish for the day.